Hello, everyone. I'm Chris.
And this is Milton with the Sports Truth. And this week we welcome back Matt Gucciani.
Yay! Sorry, guys. I missed you guys last week. I really did.
All right. So we're going to start off with our hot topics. NBA Finals. Suns up 2-0.
No predictions allowed.
No predictions allowed.
No, don't want to hear it.
Yeah. No, I mean, they were amazing yesterday. 20 for 40. So they're shooting 50% from the three-point line, and you're putting up that many shots. I guess the thing that I'm most impressed with, besides Devin Booker, and then I owe Chris Paul an apology.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, because I wrote this team off early because as talented as they were, I thought that they had to pay their dues. But, he had 64 points in 2 games. Devin Booker had 31 points. But getting back to what I'm impressed about is Monty Williams. This guy, oh yeah. I mean, you know how I was telling you if you want to know a coach, listen to their press conference? Well, I've been listening to his press conferences and, I was big time into basketball. I mean, playing it, following it, being a Duke fan. So when I heard him speaking, I was like, I want to play for this guy. I think everything I needed to know was said in a simple embrace between Chris Paul and Monty Williams. I mean, if you see the hug, I mean, it's a legit hug. Like it's his dad or someone passed away. I mean, I loved it, and especially in a macho-dominated world with sports and stuff like that, Yeah, I mean, I was just listening to his words. And then yesterday they were a little bit not that they were ever down, but the Bucks got closed in on them. And you could see that Ayton, who's been amazing, he looked like he was getting frustrated. And you just see Monty Williams put his hand on his arm and he's telling him, you got to go out there. You got to be dominant with force. And then something clicked. And I don't know. With this team, they could score from anywhere, and they've made the center sexy again. Remember how they were trying to phase out the center? I mean, you appreciate it because you had Shaquille O'Neal, one of the best centers of all time. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what does it do for the modern NBA, the way they play with ISO and all that stuff, when you have a legitimate center like Ayton?
Well, we talked about it before, too, because the Phoenix Suns coming in were that young, up-and-coming team, and they had that coach, the hungry coach, and we talked about, after that, I saw it clearly in that Lakers series, that team was hungry.
Yeah.
And they're firing on all cylinders. They bought into Monty Williams' system from day one. I mean, they surprised everybody out the gate. I mean, they finished, second in the West?
Yeah.
They never let up. And then I watched it in that Lakers series. They just didn't miss. It didn't matter where they shot from. They didn't miss. It seemed like that bucket is 3 foot in diameter.
It is sinking.
And for everybody else, they got a lid on it.
How are you supposed to stop the Suns if Mikal Bridges scores 27 points on you, along with what Chris Paul is doing and Devin Booker?
And for Chris Paul, I mean, love him, hate him.
Yeah.
Chris, I can't wait for them to win, honestly, because Chris Paul is going to be like Elway.
Oh, okay.
And those guys where he goes out to the end of it.
Good example.
I mean, he might retire after this.
You never know.
If he can secure this championship and finally get that elusive ring.
Yeah,
that's
a great comparison.
Walk off in the sunset as a champion. But you see what he's doing on the floor. So many people wrote him off.
Oh, I was one of them. And
yeah,
I think
so
I know basketball.
So many people wrote him off, but I mean, he's scoring big points. But the biggest thing is he's like we talked about with Tebow. What could be? Mm-hmm. He's that extension of the coach. He's the coach. He's taking everything that Monty has, and then he's the coach on the court. He's controlling the entire game.
Yes.
From the scoring to the tempo, he's controlling it. I was surprised. The way they played up the Giannis injury. I thought he was done.
Oh, and so did I. I mean, when I saw him...
And then he comes out game 1, I'm like, what, really?
Yeah.
Maybe it sounded like he tore his leg off.
And he had a nice 42 points. Yep. He was doing everything he had to.
But they don't have they just do not have the pieces to match. I mean, the Suns just get you every which way.
Well, I thought it was interesting because I texted you, man, the Suns have a major advantage on backcourt. So basically what it is those guards, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and they're playing power forwards and center.
Yep.
You know, I mean, besides Holiday, you know, so it just they said, I mean, so you got speed versus, you know, I mean, when you have guard speed like Devin Booker and even Chris Paul going up against power forwards and centers and wingmans, it just seems like a mismatch.
And the biggest thing, they're just hungry. They're by far they're the hungriest team.
Yeah.
In this entire playoffs, and they've carried that will. I mean, they're willing themselves to win the championship. So I won't be surprised.
Is it because like if someone's down, like I've seen a couple games where Booker is like, man, you don't look like Booker, and then someone else picks it up. It's Payne, right? Because you were saying, I remember the first time you mentioned Payne, and you're like, oh, he was hitting some threes against the, and I was like, who's this Payne guy you're talking about? And then Chris Paul was out, and then I saw him shine, and it's funny because like he's scoring like 20 something points a game. And then to be able to have Chris Paul come back, and then you go back to your reserved role, and then you're just, you know, you're doing what you can to help the team. Yeah, I mean, obviously everybody in the Crowder. Yeah.
I mean, when Crowder's like hitting everything,
yeah,
like, okay, come on,
for sure.
Something, yeah. I mean, I won't be surprised. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen, but I would not be surprised if they just like they pull a Belichick and their foot's on the pedal and they just. Like sweep the series. Yeah. I mean, Game 3 is going to come down. Like even if they win Game 3, I don't see them winning. Yeah. It's just a mismatch on. Yeah. They always say championship games and fights is a game of the matchup, and it's just a bad matchup. Yep.
For the Bucks, but I mean, when I always like to talk about the nucleus in football, man. If you look at this nucleus, I mean, I've become the biggest Monty Williams fan. I mean, he's a former player. He's a motivator. I mean, just his coach speak. I mean, talking about signature rebounds and buying into his plan. And then you have Devin Booker. You know, I'm only going to take one player. And, I mean, obviously he's even though Chris Paul has done amazing. So, I mean, and then you surround that with everything else around there. I mean, yeah, we saw a glimpse of it when they played in the bubble, right? They were undefeated, but that wasn't enough to get in. And then the next season, they just take off from day one. So,
100%.
Yeah, good for them.
No, he reminds me of how I feel about, Staley for the Chargers. It's just that it's not a reach-head coach.
Yes.
It's not like the Larry Brown that's been on like his, 30-second team coaching.
Yeah.
And they just keep retreading. This guy, like like you said, he's got all the pedigree. He played.
Yeah.
He paid his dues, and he finally got his shot, and he's making the most of his shot.
And he's been, for the last couple years, the coach, right? So, I mean, he's seen it through, like, the bad times, but there was a future there with Devin Booker, and, yeah, he's just got such a sweet shot.
No, they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, we wanted to see them play the Hawks just because
that would have been
the
great.
Two young guns going at it.
That would have been fun. I mean, I would have still taken the Suns, but I could have seen the Hawks stealing a game or two. So, yeah, I mean, who knows how the rest of the series ends, but it's looking good for the Suns. I don't want to jinx them in any way.
No more jinxing.
Yeah,
quiet.
Exactly. But, and then I got to talk the flip side of that, the Bucks. Was it Budenholzer? Is that his name?
I don't know.
I mean, anytime you have the last name Hoser,
Yeah,
Hoser.
Boo.
What's Hoser from? Is that like a 80?
From Strange Brew?
Strange Brew, right? Yeah, exactly.
Big up, Give me a jelly.
I mean, I just have no faith in this guy. I mean, he just always looks, I don't know. I mean, when I first saw him speaking yesterday, I'm like, oh, it looks like the Bucks won. You know how, like, when you're watching something, you pretty much know right away. Even my wife, when she's passing by, like, oh, they lost. I was like, oh, I think they won. Just because, like, I don't know. I don't think he's taking.
He carry himself well.
Yeah, exactly. And just, I don't know. It's just two opposite coaches. One I'd want to play for, and one,
no.
I think he might be what's holding them back. You know, I mean,
it's like the thing from Wayne's World. Like, hi, we're in Delaware. They're hi, we're in Milwaukee.
Hi.
All right. So let's move on to some Major League Baseball. The Padres, I mean, from what I saw against the Nationals, it seemed like they were just being manhandled.
What happened?
I mean, every time I was watching it. So my question to you, and I know that you said this earlier in previous podcasts, that when your team is down, when the Padres are down several runs, you never throw in the towel. I mean, 8-0, I'm pretty much ready to throw in the towel and say, hey, let's... So did that 9-8 win last night do anything for the Padres?
Yes.
What did it do? Obviously, you went to the game. There were some records broken.
Yeah, let's
it
hear it.
meant
I'm excited
something.
to hear this.
Yeah,
I am.
spill it out.
Are they legit?
Okay.
Just for all of you.
Yes.
Yes.
'Cause I love you all so much. I went and bought
Uh-huh.
a half-game season ticket plan
Okay.
for the rest of the season, so I could go in person and see all this stuff and dissect it and take it all in.
Nice.
Perfect.
So I was sitting in Home Run Alley last night. I'm watching Yu Darvish get lit up
Ugh.
and get pulled out of the game after 3 innings.
Is that a common occurrence with him?
No.
It's
That's
not.
what I'm
okay.
saying.
No,
That's
he's been
bad.
like solid.
Okay.
Now, mind you, against the Nationals, Musgrove comes in the first couple of innings, gives up 5 runs.
Oh my god.
Paddock's piece of shit arm comes in and gives up quickly 10 runs and just gets shellacked. And then you're like, okay, Darvish.
Oh, was that 15-5 game, the previous one?
Yes, the 15-5
Oh,
game.
my God.
Paddock
That's
came in.
bad.
And I
Yeah.
got thoughts on that we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay, at least Darvish is coming in,
Yeah.
and he's going to just shut it down. And then I'm watching, and they're just teeing off on him everywhere. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And next thing you know, it's 8-0. And I'm like, oh.
Okay, you're the corner man for
Yeah.
boxing. Were you ready to just
Throw the white towel
just-
in or
it's
no?
No,
8-0,
because so
it's-
no,
I'm like, okay,
nope.
so it got.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna say when it got to 8-0.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, well, you know, I'm gonna go grab something to eat because,
Okay.
you know, at this point,
Something to help
maybe
you
if
deal
I
with.
don't watch for a minute,
Yeah, of
That'll
course.
happen. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
like I gotta reverse this
Superstition.
bad
Okay,
juju.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I go to you know, give a cheap plug. I went over to Barrio Dogs. I walked to the other side of the stand to go to Barrio Dogs.
Nice.
Try out there, you know, supposedly
Yeah.
they'll change your life. So
Okay.
I had to get
How was
the
it?
Good?
Zolito
Uh-huh.
bacon wrap Tijuana dog.
We're sponsored by them.
Which it completely should not be on my diet, but you know, every
Okay.
now and again it's okay.
How was it?
It was awesome.
Okay. All
Don't
right.
tell
It was
the wife.
awesome. Man, had all
We're
the
plugging them,
pepper.
right?
Yeah, we're
Is it-
plugging. Yeah, we're
we
sponsored by
brought
them.
to by who?
By what's the name?
Barrio Dogs.
Barrio
Barrio
Dog.
Dog,
Brought to you by
okay.
Barrio Dogs. Don't tell his wife. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
it was phenomenal. So, well, she was with me, so she
Okay.
knew.
So the hot dog is the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That the pot- okay,
now as,
all right, I'm
as
gonna tell
I'm
my-
walking
my-
over,
my
as
coworkers.
I'm walking over to get the Barrio
Uh-huh.
Dog, though, I see Tatis is up.
Oh,
So I walk in to tell him
There
to
we
watch,
go.
and then he launches that home run.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm like,
Okay.
all right, that's
one.
one.
Okay.
Now 7 to go.
All right.
I'm like, okay, we got 1 in the books now, 7 to go. So I get something to eat. I walk back. I'm walking back to my seat, and you know, Petco's kind of cool because it has all these open areas now
Okay.
that are like these bars that you could just walk into, but then they have railing where you're just
Oh,
like
so
right
you're
up.
still
And
watching
they have like
the
a
game.
sushi bar. You can just
Okay.
watch.
Well, I gotta
And then
go.
there's another
Okay, we
place you
have
can
to
go
go
to where they have
sometime.
pool tables and set up like a
wow.
bar.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, they start teeing off on Scherzer because at first, like the first couple of innings, Scherzer was
like I was asking a Padres fan. I'm like, is Scherzer pretty good? I mean, they did win the World Series.
Yes,
not too long
'cause
ago.
I-
would you want him on the Padres?
because
All that stuff.
Andrea looks at me, she'll,
Yeah.
is this guy good? I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
when at the time it was I think 3-0. I'm all 3-0 might as well be like 13-0.
Right. I agree.
When you're going against like a pitcher like Scherzer,
Okay.
so I'm like, you can't be coughing up runs to him.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but then like I said, they started like teeing off him. He walked in the run, so now it goes from 7-1 to 7 or 8-1 to 8-2 because they walked in run, and then he started to lose his control. I'm like, all right, here it goes, and they start teeing off. Now they get bases loaded.
When was 8-0? Because I didn't get
Yeah,
to
what
watch it.
inning was
Yeah,
that?
what inning was it?
Third
8-0.
inning.
Really?
The third
Yes.
inning?
Wow.
Oh, that's
Okay,
just
so
So
it's
the
one of those things
comeback,
that
the
they had
comeback
time.
happened in the fourth
Oh,
inning.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Plenty of time.
Okay, so it's 8-0 in the
Right.
third inning.
Okay.
In the third inning in the fourth inning is when Tatis hit the home run
Okay.
because he batted twice. He
Oh,
hits a
wow.
home run and he also gets a single in that fourth inning.
Wow, that's pretty good.
So
with the
that's
rotation
when they
of
made
eights.
this epic comeback and,
Right.
and got it from 8-0 in the third inning to 8-7 by the end of the fourth.
Wow.
The end
okay.
of the fourth?
Yes.
Wow.
So how do we get there?
Yeah.
How did we
So
get there?
so Tatis hits a home run,
Okay.
a solo shot to get 8-1.
Right.
Scherzer starts losing his control. He walks in a run. It's 8-2.
Okay.
All right. Then we got they're teeing off. They got bases loaded, and Tingler has done this multiple times this series. and it's cost them. They've had bases loaded multiple times, and he's let the pitcher pitch, and I'm like, dude. I'll keep it PC.
Yeah, okay.
WTF? Why is the pitcher not getting pinch hit for when we have base loaded? I mean,
right.
We done it earlier in the series, and we got nothing out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we're losing, and so here we are again.
Yeah.
Bases loaded. They had already pulled Darvish. They had Caramana in, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And then I'm like, he's gonna let this dude hit. It's bases loaded. We're chasing 6 runs right now, and he's letting the pitcher hit. Now, in his defense at this point, our bullpen is so taxed because all these starters, like I said, Musgrove gave up 5, gets pulled. Padres gives up 10, he gets pulled. Darvish just gives up 8, he gets pulled.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pitching. He's doing it with chewing gum and duct tape. I mean, he's like, I don't have any more arms. This guy's, I got to keep him in and get a couple of innings because I just don't have anybody else to go out there. So I'm like, damn, dude, he's going to let this guy hit. So quickly, Caramana, I hope I'm saying this right, he's down 0-2. I'm like, great. Here we go. Bases loaded. Pitcher who's never got a major league hit ever in his life.
I mean, a lot of pitchers don't, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
because all they do is pitch. Yeah.
No. Yeah, so he's down 0-2, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to laugh if this dude hits an effing home run.
And?
If he hits a grand slam.
Wow.
And it's a
Wow,
low...
a pitcher?
Yes.
And
That
the
should have
pitch
been
is
designated
low.
hitter?
Listen, the best
Or
part is
brought
the pitch is low and outside. He goes down and gets it.
Yeah.
And hits it for a grand slam.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, you gotta be... I knew it.
Okay.
Like, no sooner did I go, Andrew, watch. I'm going to laugh my ass off. This dude's going to hit a grand slam. And like, right after I said it, dude, he reaches down and gets it. Now it's 8-6.
Yeah.
Then the Padres get another run. It's 8-7. And I'm like, all right, there you go. Now they're back in the game. I'm all, listen. Just like in that first game when Musgrave gave up 5.
Yeah.
And then we scored 5. And then we end up losing.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, you do not come back like that and lose. I said, if we just came back from 8-0, we are winning this game.
Yeah, or it's all for nothing.
You have to.
The morale. Yeah.
Now, just for historical purposes.
Oh yeah, please bring that.
So that pitcher, like, that was his first major league hit.
Okay.
The last time a pitcher's first major league hit was a grand slam. 1898.
Oh my god. So more than 100
100
years.
years.
1898.
20 some years.
120 plus
It's
years.
insane.
Damn.
So then.
That's crazy.
So then the Padres battle back. They score another run. Pham got hot.
Oh,
Like, he's like ripping the ball everywhere. The person, the Crone zone, man, Cronenworth was getting robbed in that game. He hit 2 shots into the, like, right into outfield.
Yeah.
The liners for hits.
Yeah.
That dude laid out and robbed him not once but twice. Like, diving, on the top 10
You
plays.
giving that guy a golden glove?
It was
Fuck that
insane.
guy. Fuck that guy.
So the second one was
Sorry
so
for the
close. The
language.
second one was so close that they had to do a replay because they thought it bounced right just before it went his glove. But man, he got it on the very end of his glove.
So how'd they get the winning run to make it?
So the winning run. Well, first, let's get to the ninth inning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tinkler goes unconventional again, something that I absolutely hate, and we saw it many times fail in the Hoffman years. He brings in Melanchon in the ninth inning, and it's a tie game. It's not a save situation.
Oh, is that the guy?
And you and I know, like, you don't bring in closers in a non-save situation. That could go very bad.
Yeah.
So I'm telling Andrea, I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me right now?
Point and
Here we go.
Yes, I'm like, come on. And she's like, well, that's great because he'll shut him down. I'm like, no, you don't understand. A closer's mentality is to come in and save a game.
Yeah.
Not hold a game.
Right. I agree.
And so he comes out dominant. He strikes out the first guy.
Yeah.
Gets second guy, but then he gets a little squirrely like he usually does.
Yeah.
And dude rips a ball, and Cronenworth, man, pulls his best plastic man. Did you see that play? It's a liner to second. He dives out and catches. I swear to God, his arm like extended.
Oh yeah, like OBJ level behind his head.
Reed Richard that ball.
Yeah.
He's totally fantastic.
And he's one to make plays like that because I remember watching in the 60-game season last year.
Yeah,
I mean, Cronenberg.
Yeah, can you remember it was a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
Tatis made that dude hit a liner and Tatis like double jumped. I swear to God, He jumped, and then he somehow in midair he jumped again.
It's like an 80-inch vertical. He's like,
So I mean, it was a phenomenal play, and I'm like, good. Cronenworth's got robbed twice, and now he robbed somebody else, and then
okay.
So we get out of the inning.
Yeah.
Or we get out the top of the ninth. So in the bottom of the ninth, we had, we're at the top of the order. So you had Pham, Tatis, Cronenworth, etc.
Who got the win?
So Pham gets another hit. What did Tatis do in the ninth? I think he got out, but he got Pham to second. Then then they intentionally walk Machado, which this is another thing that I noticed that they're trying to speed up baseball.
Yeah.
For intentional walks, remember how the pitcher had to throw 4 pitches?
Oh yeah.
In case he throws a wild pitch.
Right.
Now you just say, I want to intentional walk him. He just goes down.
Is that really? When did they have to come up with that?
When?
I just noticed it last night. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like,
that's weird.
I'm like, hold on. Did I just lose like 5 minutes of life? Like, why is Machado already standing on first? They didn't throw 4 pitches.
Wow. Okay.
Wait, he just tells him like, I want to walk him.
Yeah. So the manager just say, I want to intentionally walk him. They just automatically send him.
That's
got
to be something new. I don't remember that
so,
being part of baseball.
So Pham gets over third.
Yeah.
Machado immediately steals second. So they got second, third.
Yeah.
And you could tell because Pham had already stole second.
Right.
And then he gets over to third. And you could tell Pham was like itching. He wanted to score so bad. He's cheating down that line so much. Like as soon as the ball gets touched, he's on the home plate. And I was like, dude, this dude's gonna steal home.
Yeah,
he's gonna steal home.
Because the pitcher was the lefty, so his back was already third, and third baseman was off. So I'm like, dude, he's one way or the other. This dude wants to score. And Grissom comes up, and I'm telling Andrew, she's like, oh, he's got to hit a home run. No, I'm like, listen. He needs to hit the ball right here.
Yeah.
He just needs to hit it over the infield's head in this gap right here.
Right, yeah, drop
and,
it in
and,
there.
and Grissom lines one into right field. Pham scores, game over. Everybody's like
How
screaming.
was the crowd?
Yeah.
Dude, the crowd is freaking. I want them to get more freaked out.
Yeah.
Because I kept looking at the PA guy. I'm like, okay, they're putting up the little get loud, but I'm like, dude, I want it like old school where this whole place is like freaking out.
Yeah.
Like even when Melanchon had the guy with 2 strikes with 2 outs. I'm like, why is everybody like? I mean, everybody should not just be standing up. Everybody should be jumping up and down and like pulling him through. Yeah. But since he did pull through it in the 9th inning, in a non-safe situation, my nickname for him, Mark Melatonin Melanchon, dude, he lulled those batters to sleep.
That's a good one. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, through this, like, it made it somewhere?
His nickname,
exactly.
So they pull off an epic comeback win. I mean, that was a comeback win of epic proportion because the one thing you got to know about this National Series in the 4-game series, I mean, they split it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you look at the standings, on Monday, the Giants and Dodgers lose. Okay. Padres lose.
Yeah.
Wasted opportunity.
Right.
Next day, the Giants and Dodgers lose.
Oh,
Padres win. They gain a game.
Right.
Yeah.
On both of them. Then in the 3rd game, Dodgers lose again. I can't remember if the Giants lost or not. And the Padres lose. I'm like, you realize if they just handled business, they'd be like it'd be like dead heat for the best record in all of baseball.
So is this a sparking point, or does it like do a little something?
Well, for me, I mean, we're now. I mean, they still have the one more series with the Rockies, but they're getting close to the All-Star break. It just I've been saying it every week. The Padres need more pitching. At the trade deadline's coming up at the end of July. I know that there's rumors out there. I mean, of course, Preller is probably the most active person. Of all of baseball.
If there's something out there,
they said he has his hand in like 50 fires right now. I know they're looking hard at Kyle Gibson, who's starting pitcher, to come in. The thing that sucks that kind of F them is Paddock coming out and getting shellacked. Yeah. He would have been a perfect trade candidate to get him out. But now they did that, they're like, oh,
no thank you.
I don't know. So that might now cost them Weathers or somebody else because. I don't know. I mean, AJ Preller's going to have to pull some voodoo magic to be able to move Paddock to somebody after like getting tattooed like that. Now they said they might bring him in relief. Yeah. Just to try and make him look a little bit better. Yeah. We'll see. But I know that he's all in on Joey Votto.
So we play. after the Rockies, we go right back again and play the Nationals, which is interesting.
That's
so it'll
weird.
be interesting to see like how they come into it because I mean, as far as from what I saw in the series, I mean I know it was 2-2, but it just seemed like
our starting our pitching is just at the end of the day, the Stars are not getting it done.
Yeah.
The bullpen is completely been overworked.
Yeah.
They still need to get a couple more relievers, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to get at least one more back end starter.
Okay.
Before the deadline. And then if somehow, some way he could pull off the Joey Votto trade, because Votto could play first base and he could play all three outfield positions.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That gives them versatility that, if Hosmer's not hitting all the time, or they need to platoon Hosmer a little bit, because that dude hits into more double plays.
I noticed that.
And
Stop.
I mean, he did get a double yesterday, but a lot of his stuff is like ground balls, a lot of ground balls.
Every time I see Hosmer, I think like, oh my god, that's
But
the guy-
Votto could come in and spell him at first base.
Yeah.
And then he could also play the outfield, so he can give Grissom a break, he can give Myers a break. They don't have to play Profar as much. They can just put him back in that super utility role. And Votto's got a bat.
When's the
And that's just
All-Star
one more-
break or All-Star game?
Hmm?
Is it next week or it's coming up?
Yeah, it's coming up real soon.
Okay. All right.
But that's my take on the Padres.
Okay. All right.
Is
Yeah, I
that the
figured
loudest?
the 9-8 win had to do something, especially when you're down 8-0, and so,
Is
yeah.
that the
No,
loudest
but
you heard it?
they're I'm telling you, they're on oxygen as far as their pitching. I mean, Snell
Life support.
missed his start.
Yeah.
So they don't even know who's pitching today. Snell's supposed to. It's his turn to pitch today, but he's been battling the flu or stomach or
Well,
whatever.
thank goodness they're playing the Rockies, right? I mean, they're
Yeah,
not,
so
even
as
though
of
they've
last
sort of
night,
been
Tingler didn't even know
7-3,
who the
so-
starter was going to be. Hell, maybe he'll pull up Gore.
Were you yelling really loud after the Grand Slam? I just wanted to know how loud the crowd was after the Grand Slam.
At the end?
No, the Grand Slam.
Oh,
before.
dude, when
How loud
dude
was
hit
it?
the grand slam,
just wanna know.
Everyone was in shock.
No,
probably.
no, I want to hear the
everybody was
yelling.
going nuts. So
Okay,
I was
nuts.
in
That's what I was
in
waiting
this
for,
bar
yeah.
area, and this
That's what I want to
guy,
know. Yeah.
this guy that looked like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds,
It's always ogre.
is like screaming,
He's screaming,
at,
right?
at the Nationals outfielders.
Yeah, what's he saying?
What you gonna do now? What you do? You guys just need to leave. Like he's hard. Like everybody's laughing. This guy is just relentless.
Yeah.
I love those people. You need
It's
those. You
I
need
was
more
dying.
of
It was
those.
I was
hilarious.
hoping you were yelling. I
Oh,
would
yeah,
have been
dude.
screaming, dude. I'd
Like
been
we're
oh
sitting
my God.
in our seats. There's a family next to us, and
Yeah.
like the beach balls are flying around everywhere. And there's a little girl next to me, and she wants to get in on the beach ball
Yeah.
action, but they keep going around. I said, "Listen, I'm gonna catch it, and I'm gonna give it to you. You can hit it.
That's
I'll hit it
awesome.
away."
Building some good
Yeah.
karma there. Some good juju.
Yeah, so it was good. So
Yeah.
finally it came to me. I got it to her a couple times. She got to hit around. She was all
Nice.
excited. So when they won the game,
Yeah.
she jumping up and down her seat, like just kept high fiving
Yeah.
me. Like she was like so.
That's all. She
stoked.
knew the energy was there. She's like, this guy knows something
Yeah.
about the
Oh, dude, it was
Padres. I got to stick with this guy.
Yeah.
All right. So for all our Padre fans out
Yeah.
there, there's plenty to
That's hope,
chew
yeah.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. No, I'll tell him today. Hey,
Yeah.
if you want to listen to some good Padre stuff,
Yeah,
listen to the podcast.
Yeah, so
then turn
send
it
some
off.
good karma Preller's way that he could pull off some voodoo magic. We got to load up for the playoffs.
Definitely.
All right, we're moving on to our last hot topic. I'm not sure if you knew that Rogers was playing Brady like in a doubles competition in golf,
I heard.
and Rogers ended up beating Brady. They both look like they were pretty good at golf. I mean,
They
that
are.
doesn't
Well, yeah,
doesn't
did you
surprise
hear
me.
that
with-
sparked a new rumor
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he's gonna go on the
to the PGA Tour?
Yeah.
So either he's
He doesn't have
got
to do
Jeopardy.
anything anymore. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do this whole quarterback thing
Just
with
do
Green
PGA.
Bay. Is he going to be the host of Jeopardy, or is he now? Is he
Okay.
going to be a PGA card carrier?
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
I didn't hear about that, but I could see that.
Yeah.
All right. So I am going to give you the power of attorney for Rogers. You are Rogers
my
now.
God.
You are Aaron
Here we
Rodgers.
go.
Okay.
Oh no.
That's who you are. How do you handle this? Do you come back? What do you want if you come back? So I'm going to give you the power that Rogers has.
Man,
Tell me what
if
happened.
I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, listen, I got this 7-figure offer from Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
I can go make the PGA Tour and I can just chill and drink and have cigars and play golf and make a bunch of money. I don't need to come back and like, what are you gonna do for me? He's like in the He's in the command chair, man. He's Captain Kirk.
Yeah, he is.
that
He's
chair
Captain
going,
Kirk.
"Listen."
He
He's looking
is.
down, yeah.
He is. He's like,
Okay.
look, I have all the cards. So what are you gonna do for me, Green Bay?
They're gonna try and save face, and like they've been trying to so far. He's difficult to work with.
100%.
and
I
stuff
mean, they're
like that.
gonna at some point
Probably
they're
gonna
gonna
get rid
have to. They're gonna have to bend to his will and give him what he wants.
Right.
He clearly
I mean,
wants more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, money and to get rid of some of those people that are making life difficult for him and that are sort of
Yeah,
slandering
he's
his
wants to
name
do. He's
and
like, listen,
reputation.
I'm on par with Brady, man. Treat me like Brady.
Yes, exactly. They've been hanging out a lot together. So
I know
yeah.
he got that TB12 book.
He did?
Oh, did he?
He bought it, which I thought was kind of random. I'm like,
Not
I'm
really.
Sure,
He wants-
sure
he
you
wants
could
in on
just
the
call
secrets.
Brady and say, hey man, can I get a copy of your
Yeah.
book for all your clean living and workout?
So
programs?
Brady's rubbing off on him, right?
Yes.
Brady, when he
Yeah,
wanted
I
to,
think
and it was time.
Rogers is like, I'm kind of getting into that, cross that line over to that villain thing. I need to just like embrace Brady and get some of that Brady mojo.
Yeah, Darth
For
Vader's
sure.
apprentice.
Yeah, that's some good mojo.
Star Killer.
All right, I know. I mean, it's either they're gonna. Yeah, either way. I mean, I don't know. I feel
30
bad.
minutes, by the way.
Yeah, okay. I
Okay.
feel bad for Packer fans. So
Yeah, you
that-
guys own the team, yet you don't. It's okay.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go on to 5 random questions.
Oh, perfect. See
Yeah.
if he stumps me. Will he stump me, viewers?
I don't think so. I'm not
Ever.
even sure if these are my strongest 5. I just sort
Don't
of
worry,
put
that's the
5,
ones that'll
5
get me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Have you guys both been horse riding in your lives?
Horse riding?
Yeah.
A ton.
A ton? Okay.
No.
I've had a few times where I've had
I have not.
now, since you've had more experience with that, have you gone past the just galloping part and like
A full run?
Actually,
a full run?
sprint.
I've been in a full run.
Oh,
How
my God.
fast
How
is
is
it?
that?
Yeah.
Explain it
Scary.
to me. Yeah,
Scary?
right?
Why?
Dude, okay, listen, on the
I wanna hear it.
movies,
Yeah.
on the movies when
Yeah.
they're like shooting guns and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
firing bow and arrows and
Underneath
stuff.
the horse. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. They're,
Yeah.
they're just trotting.
Man,
right?
they make
Okay.
it look like super easy. Like
It's not.
literally, when a horse, like I'm telling you, when a horse gets in a full run, especially if you're on like a horse that's,
All muscled up.
17, 18, 19 hands, which is how they interpret that's how
Yeah.
they gauge their height.
Yeah,
by
okay.
hand,
That. Yeah.
right? Do you're on a horse like that? Like think about like I'll go old school, like
here you
in
go.
Lady Hawk.
Okay.
When
That
he's
sounds old.
got that big Frisian
Yeah.
horse. I mean, when a horse like that, dude, you're just holding on for dear life. Like honestly,
You are, yeah.
So you're loving the thrill of it, but you're saying,
yes, but
God, I could
you
fucking
you are
die."
clear.
Yeah,
like
you
this,
can die. Yeah.
Listen, the sphincter level is off the charts. If you are clinched, like oh my God, if I just
Okay.
live through this, I won't do this again. I hope that this saddle, like the strap, doesn't break. I'm like,
Okay.
but I mean, but when it. It's kind of, but when they do get in, like if it's under control, it actually like
You
it
get
gets
into
in
a groove, right?
It gets in the zone.
Yeah.
Like it's when they do like that trot where it's like kind of bouncing. You're trying to. The main thing is you got to get in the rhythm with the horse, so that
Yeah.
you guys are moving as one. If you're fighting against it, you're like completely opposite.
Yeah.
You're just like bouncing, like you're like, oh, this is
God.
not good.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the funny thing is that's
But
not
once
even...
they get in the stride and you guys are in
Yeah.
sync, dude, you get in the flow.
Oh, I imagine it's an adrenaline shot, right?
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you're like down in Mexico through these like crazy little things where the trail is very
Yeah.
narrow and
No.
you're getting like hit by branches
Yeah.
and twigs. You're gonna poke
I've
your
done
eye
one
out.
of those. I was down in Puerto Vallarta, and my dad and we went up into the jungle and got a couple horses and stopped at some places to eat in the middle of nowhere, and it was a fun experience. But yeah, I
You
never
did your
got.
best Pancho Villa impression.
Yeah, exactly. But that's not even the question. That was like getting your guys's experience with horse riding.
No, it's a
right?
lot. No, it's a lot of fun. I mean, growing up, the guy that took me in as like a father figure. They had a ranch out in Bonita with 8
Oh,
horses, and I
nice.
raised like I grew up taking care of the horses, cleaning the horses,
Okay.
riding them around.
Oh wow! So you got a lot of experience.
Yeah,
More
it
than the
was-
average person that doesn't own a
It
horse.
was fun, but the one thing that he told me
Uh-huh.
still this day, he's like, man, don't ever marry anybody that's into horses. That's like the biggest money drain of all time.
I could
like,
see
don't
that,
just-
yeah,
if
for sure.
If it's a horse person, just go the other way. I'm telling you
Yeah,
now, just go the other
For
way.
sure. It's a lot of money
A
involved.
lot of money.
Yeah. All right. So my question is, if there was a bird you could ride, would you do it?
A bird?
A bird, a big enough bird. So you're talking more like
Lord of
birds.
the Rings,
like
the
joust.
Eagles.
Yeah, like joust. Exactly.
joust.
Yes.
Or
Would you
Lord of
be
the
The
Rings.
great eagles from Lord of the
Yeah.
Rings.
Yeah, the Eagles
Yeah.
have saved me.
So would you be down for that?
I'd totally be down for
You
that.
would? I mean, no matter how high they climbed, I mean, if you fell off a horse, you're probably
No,
gonna
like
break something.
usually,
But
break
okay,
your
if you're in
neck.
that position, right? Like
Yeah.
you have a big giant eagle
Yeah,
that you're riding
eagle.
on.
Yeah.
Obviously,
You're
he's
holding on.
magical, so he's
Yeah.
got some telepathy
Yeah,
thing
he's
going on
like,
with
please
him.
don't drop me. Yeah.
So he's like, look, if I promise you, if I
Okay.
like make like this crazy move,
yeah,
I'm gonna pick you up. I'll
Okay,
grab you by the
okay.
talons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're probably gonna like
Yeah.
shit yourself
Yeah.
as you're falling,
Yeah,
but
it'll
I
be
got
fine.
you.
Yeah.
I got you.
okay. I figured if anybody would be
Personally,
down for a
I'd
ride,
be
it would
more
be
like
you.
Dragonlance. I want to be like one of those dragon riders. With
Oh yeah,
a
the
cool
Dragon
saddle.
Riders are cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I would write it too. Obviously.
Because even some of those from Game of Thrones, I mean, even though they were the hero in the movie and not scared of anybody fighting, you know, they always had that apprehension.
No,
of
yeah,
getting
because
on.
like the Dragon Queen, she knew that. I mean, those are her babies.
Yeah,
she knew
that's
that they
true.
had her. Like if
Yeah.
She wasn't
falls or
scared,
whatever,
but like I remember, who's the main actor?
Daenerys,
No, her husband,
Jon
the
Snow.
second husband. Yeah, Jon Snow. Yeah,
Jon
yeah.
Snow. Yeah.
All right, cool. How about you?
Yeah, I said yes.
Oh,
It's
you would
fantasy
too.
stuff. Yeah, I would
Okay,
ride the
all right,
dragons.
all right. You know,
Yeah.
I'll give it a
Especially if
try.
you have like Gandalf next to you.
Yeah, come on now.
Oh, look,
Especially
look,
with
I got
Gandalf.
Gandalf. He's a wizard. Like if I fall, he's just gonna hit me with feather fall. And
Yeah, yeah,
man,
it was fine. I won't hit the
All
ground.
right. So as
Chill.
long as it doesn't ride up into the sun like Icarus, then you're good.
Well,
All right. All right. Cool. All right. So just a quick. Do you know the five senses?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sight, sound, smell, taste, touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, 4 for you.
4 for me. Exactly. I only have 4 of the 5. My smell is gone.
My
That's
smell
it.
just came way back too.
Did it?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like my
so-
hearing's going to shit, but my smell's coming back.
Well, 4 for both of you. There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So out of those 5 senses, which one would you want enhanced? Like where you're like a 1%er?
Ooh. That's hard, man.
I got a feeling I know what his is, just based on need.
There's a difference between what and need there,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah, I know. I have to go.
Yeah.
Like in current situation, I have to go with hearing.
Yeah, because yours is.
Although you know, being such a it
Foodie?
goes hand in hand. Being such a movie guy, man,
Oh.
sight's so important too. For all
Yeah.
the stuff. I mean, can you imagine like being a movie buff or way into reading and not bending my pages if I couldn't read? Like I had to like figure out how to
Braille?
do Braille.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be sight for me because 90% of everything that you like take in is through sight.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Okay, so you would
Everything else
want
is
that,
10%.
like,
Yeah.
you're seeing things that other people
Yeah.
don't see. Okay.
Literally, sight is 90% of your sensory like, input.
Yeah.
It's literally your eyes
And for you, are you going with the hearing or?
seeing.
Well, okay,
There's a
so
want and need. There's
since
different
I have okay
Yeah.
for all the
Yeah.
fans out there, I've been like battling this whole hearing issue thing for a while. Now I have done hearing tests,
Uh-huh.
and like my bone conductive hearing is 100%.
Okay, so when
Oh.
they're doing the,
So it's literally
you're
just
able to,
whatever's
like-
in my head
okay.
that's kind of blocking my hearing. So my hearing is actually like phenomenal. It's just getting
Yeah.
blocked by other sources that I just need to get that rectified. So
Uh,
knowing that eventually will happen and my
Yeah.
hearing will be back to normal, I'm going to sight because
there, yeah.
you know, like
sight.
Chris said,
Yeah.
the sight is everything. Sight is
Literally.
like you take in everything. If I could have like that, you know, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the
mhm.
10,
Eagle-eye
20, whatever the
vision.
heck it's called. Yeah.
Yeah.
The eagle vision, whatever.
Oh yeah, it's awesome
Please.
because I mean, think
So
about
that's
things
got to help you like with your golf game,
everything.
right?
With
Think
everything.
Think
yeah.
about it. You could come in like you're
Pool.
just walking as a badass to the shooting range. You're just like dead eye.
Yeah, literally. Boom.
That's a
Seriously.
good one.
You literally snipe someone with
I
your
would
bare
probably
eyes.
even.
Yeah.
I don't care about the smell. I mean, most smells are bad. I do miss it occasionally, but I'm gonna have to. I'm a foodie, just like you
Taste,
guys are.
yeah.
Taste. I
Yeah.
mean, to have something that tastes amazing, even tastes more amazing. Like
Yeah,
you know,
everything.
yeah,
You
exactly.
could taste everything.
Everything,
Every
yeah.
little thing. That'd be great. Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Question number 3. And this is one that we could probably go into a top 5.
Oh, no.
But what's your favorite sitcom of all time?
Favorite what?
Sitcom?
Situational comedy. Boy, you might have gotten me finally.
No, it's okay. I mean,
Finally, you might have gotten me, buddy. There's so
Really?
many that I like. I can't.
okay,
choose.
yeah, I will just come down to
Because if I say one over another, I'll hate myself. So
Yeah.
I think you got me.
because you grew up in the '90s,
Yeah.
so I mean,
90s and early 2000s.
yeah, I mean, probably maybe one of the,
It's probably gonna be Friends because that's the one
Okay.
that was in the 90s.
yeah, for
Friends.
sure, one of the
Friends is like a little after us.
It is after you guys.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
my
for
time,
sure.
90s,
It's
yeah.
more of the
90s kids. Yeah.
God, we had so many good. But that's like
You guys
such a
had
not fair question
Seinfeld.
for us growing
I
up in
know.
the '80s.
Didn't you? Have
I know.
What did
Think
you
about
have
how many
again?
sitcoms.
what's
we
that?
In the 80s? How many sitcoms did you have? Like
Dude,
15?
it was the peak of
15?
sitcoms.
Listen, like I
It
had
was,
when I was in high school, I had a routine. I go to my buddy's house to do homework.
Yeah.
and we would watch Coach,
Oh yeah, great show.
and then we watch Cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers
And
is
then
another
and then
good show.
Letterman, like it was like the same
Yeah,
routine.
just
We
in a
always
row.
was like Coach, Letterman.
Yeah,
you know,
I remember
Coach,
that.
Cheers, Letterman, like constant. I watched a ton of Cheers, but there were so many. I mean, how much Magnum PI did you watch?
I didn't watch hardly any of it.
No,
Really?
Yeah,
18?
That's a shocker.
18, yes.
Dukes
for
of
sure.
Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard, yes.
Those
The
are
whole-
really sitcoms,
Yes.
though, are
See, oh,
they? Are they sitcoms?
So okay, and then you go do like
Well, I'm not sure if Hulk runs into a sitcom.
okay, but how
Is it?
about like
Okay.
Silver Spoons?
Yeah, huge Silver Spoons.
Tons of
fan.
Silver Spoons,
Yeah, tons
right?
of Silver Spoons. Yeah. So you're mentioning
Um,
all this, but I want to know.
Oh yeah, so you got
What's the number one? Yeah.
you
Yeah.
got Silver Spoons.
Come on,
Different Strokes.
Yes, amazing.
What's happening?
I mean, this could easily be name your top 10,
Yes,
and
what-
you would
yeah.
still have a tough time.
what's happening?
What's happening? Yeah,
The Jeffersons.
the Jeffersons, Good Times.
Good
I mean,
time.
yeah,
We
There's
had
too many.
it's not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
fair. We had
70s/80s,
like, that's
yeah.
when there was actually real sitcoms.
yeah, absolutely.
That's like
I got nothing. I
that's
got
like
Friends.
literally the impossible question.
I figured you were gonna say Friends or
Yeah.
Seinfeld because
Yeah,
they're
those
sort
are the
of
ones.
like
yeah, because
yeah.
in that era, I mean,
They
we were a little
dominated
bit
the
older,
90s.
but
yeah.
you know, definitely watch
By a
Friends and watch Seinfeld. But yeah, like for a lot of people, I know in a lot of generation,
Yeah.
there's people that live and die by Seinfeld,
Oh yeah,
like
for
their
sure.
quotes
sure.
and like everything.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, I mean, if you were
It's a good
saying what is the best sitcom of all time, then my vote would go towards Seinfeld. You know,
Yeah,
because
that's
I
a good
mean,
one.
it never jumped the shark. You know, I mean, maybe the last episode how it ended, but that's not
weird.
jumping the shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, and hell, even for something like really new, especially for you and me,
Yeah.
like The Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah. Big
Yeah.
Bang
How awesome was
Theory.
that?
For
Yeah.
sure. Out of the more recent ones, it's probably the last really good sitcom
Yeah.
because I think
And I
it's
actually
sort
liked
of
how that
nerdy.
ended too.
Yeah.
I did like how it ended. Yeah, it was nerdy as well.
Because
So-
usually they end and you're like, eh.
So, what are you handing in for your favorite sitcom of all time?
Jesus.
I know you rattled a whole bunch off.
I know it
They're
doesn't
all
count. You have to
great.
say at number one.
Yeah.
No,
He
they're all-
got
yeah.
us. He got us.
God, you know,
Finally,
that's hard.
he stumped me on a weak
I have to-
question.
we do have to like expand this into.
We do.
Yeah,
I
for
love
sure.
Three's Company.
Love Three's Company. That's
and it's
probably
even
one-
better now that we're older. Actually,
Yeah, exactly.
Like I actually get all the innuendos.
Yeah,
that just
yeah,
right over my head.
yeah,
before.
exactly.
So
All
I,
the-
you know, I'm gonna stick with Three's Company for
okay,
right now.
that's a good one. I thought you were gonna say Happy Days. So
that's another one that's.
How
fun.
did you forget Happy
So I was
Days?
gonna say Three's Company because I know he's a huge Happy Days. I think he
I
has
love
the whole
Happy Days.
collection.
Fonz.
So yeah, so you go Three's Company, I'll go Happy Days.
Perfect,
I mean,
and
just
then we
the
can
music.
we'll just meet together. We'll watch them both.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody watched
That's
Happy Days.
definitely in my top 10, both of them, maybe even
like
top,
like
yeah.
like Joni loves Chachi.
Yeah,
that,
whatever.
eh.
Yeah, that's like jumping the shark.
And Laverne and Shirley, were you a big Laverne and Shirley?
Yeah, I watched it.
I watched
Yeah,
it, but it wasn't like you were like kind of like a little letdown. Like you went from Happy Days,
Yeah,
and then Laverne and Shirley, you're kind of like, eh.
Mork and Mindy.
I love Mork
Yeah.
and Mindy.
Yeah.
Happy Days.
I
is
mean,
like-
I just like Laverne and Shirley because I mean, just those more than Laverne and Shirley, it was the two dudes,
Lenny and Squiggy.
Those guys cracked me up, and then Carmine, right? Like always busting
Oh,
in with
yeah.
his Showtime
God.
or show tunes. All right, cool. I mean, yeah, we could probably have a podcast just on sitcoms. All right,
Oh,
I'll move on to
no.
my next question. I don't want this podcast going too long.
Yeah.
Okay, if you, and I think this will. Okay, if you could decide your ideal height by taking some type of potion, what is that ideal height for you? Not for what's the ideal height.
Oh,
for
well,
me.
we have that in D&D, so
Okay, well,
potion of height.
all right, perfect. I'm drinking. I'm drinking a bunch of it then.
Of course you are.
Yeah,
For me,
yeah. Because are you 6 or 6'1"?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay,
With
6 foot,
Certain
okay.
shoes, I'm 6'1".
Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm really tall.
I knew
for
you were
Asian.
part of the 6 foot club,
You
which
6
me
foot?
and
Yeah.
You're not like Yao Ming tall.
I know, right? I'm still
yeah.
Korean.
Yeah, but he for Asian,
For
he's pretty
Asian,
tall.
tall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your ideal height?
I want to live longer, so
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go shorter. The
Yeah,
tall
that's
people
true.
don't live as long.
Yeah,
You can look
taller
it up.
people.
Don't live as
It's
long.
true. I mean,
Especially
I feel bad for
football
my.
and basketball players.
I feel bad for my friend at work, and he even said like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna die because like I have some stomach issues
No,
or whatever."
Look at like Andre the Giant.
Yeah, I mean, anytime it's just too much stress on your body.
Your
So
heart
I would
can't
take
pump that much.
right.
Like it's too big. Like Shaq, not to be mean.
Yeah.
Shaq probably won't live to 75.
Yeah, I mean, well, Bill
Let's-
Russell
let's-
has, but I mean,
I know. Let's enjoy him while we can
Yeah.
because he's so
He
Shaq's
is. He's
so
a-
big that
Yeah.
I feel bad for
So what are you going for? Your ideal height?
5'5", something Asian, short as hell. 5'5".
You do
so I
not
live
want to
longer.
be short.
Yep.
I like.
You
the
want that
opposite.
short man's complex?
I want to be short and live longer than you. Short man's complex. I'll be laughing and peeing on your grave.
All right,
tall boy.
all right.
You
You know
wanna
what?
be a
I want to enjoy it while I'm
Yeah,
here.
I want to
wants to
enjoy
be a
it so you
hobbit.
can.
Okay.
You know what?
I
I'll just
never
pee on
thought
your
that
grave.
you would go below.
I
I
would.
thought you would maybe add a
No,
couple
I don't want to
inches
die
here.
earlier because I'm
Okay.
bigger.
Or maybe you just say, "Hey, I'm 6 foot. I'm happy with what I have."
Either 6 foot or something shorter. I want to live
Okay.
longer.
All right.
You can die, sooner being tall,
Alright.
and I'll just pee on your
Alright.
grave. Okay. Last laugh.
All right. How about you, Guccione? Just because I know you're big into sports and
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
have
see,
those couple
like,
inches,
for
it's
me,
gonna help you in
So
basketball, football.
I'm 5'11".
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm like,
I'm 5'11",
I'm taller
and
than both of you. Wow.
I've always overcome the
Yeah.
height, especially playing basketball, just
Absolutely.
Gotta be
by
taller.
having like an insane vertical leap
Yeah.
and just
Boxing
out,
out.
boxing
Yeah,
out, and
exactly.
having to play smarter
right, for
than
sure.
the other because
you
you
have
don't
to.
have all those ideal physical tools, especially for basketball.
Yeah.
So for me, I wouldn't want to be like a Shaq, like a 7 foot
Right.
tall.
He's too
But
tall.
I would say like for my playing style,
Yeah.
and I mean we just tested, a month ago at SoFi, and I still had a 30-inch vertical leap.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do.
So if I could just take that 5'11" and make it like 6'4",
Okay.
and be like that guard
Yeah.
side, but then still play as tough as I do and with my intensity level,
Yeah.
and then just add to that vertical leap, I'm golden.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take 6'4".
Okay.
6'4".
Yeah.
How about you there, Milton?
Mm,
Your tall man's complex. You're just
Yeah.
compensating for something.
for sure. For sure.
Not me.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll live longer.
at what point does it turn into too tall, or like at what point do you
what
notice?
sport?
What,
For what sport?
That's
What-
why I think like
what
6'3",
height?
6'4" is a good height. You're not
6'5" is a
overly
little too
tall where you're like, man, I can't find any clothes.
right, or I can't
But
sleep in
we're
this
tall enough
bed.
for like a sport that we love.
Yeah.
As long as I can get over that rim and dunk with
Yeah.
these, like I'm good.
6'5" is usually
Yeah,
the
that-
basketball height.
Right.
6'5",
yeah.
6'6".
I know. Yeah. I've
And then
always
same
been
for
interested
football.
with that like 6'5".
Yeah.
I mean, but
I mean, I like 5 just because I like the number 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But no, 5'5".
But think about even
I'm gonna live longer
I'm
than
like
you.
lightning quick still also.
Yeah.
And think about it like 6'4". 6'4" is a good, like if you're playing wide receiver. Or
Yeah.
Even if you're playing corner at 6'4".
Yeah.
That's a
And
good-
you got a
So-
longer wingspan.
100%.
Yeah.
So you want to be a DK Metcalf? He's like 6'4" with a 4'3" something.
Dude, that's
40.
still
It's crazy.
okay. Listen, that chase down.
Yeah, the
right here
chase down
is
of
still
my
one of
poor
that
boy,
was my
the
like my
Cardinal.
favorite play of all last year.
I cried, dude. I'm like, yay, picks it. Never mind. I'm like, I just saw decaf just like,
Dude, it looked
come
like
on.
somebody hit the turbo button on
I
a
know.
PlayStation.
Like, and wait, what was his name? I'm trying to remember his name. Who's the one that picked off Russell? What was his name for the Cardinals? I'm a Cardinal fan. I should
Buda
know this.
Baker? No.
Yeah, Buda Baker.
Baker,
And I'm
yeah.
like, Buda Baker's not slow either.
Yeah.
He has like a 4.5 or 4.4.
He's
and
just
still.
he's a beast, DK Metcalf.
DK is
ever
like,
since he walked into the room
Yeah.
and then just like
And that's why the Seahawks are still going to win a lot because you got
That's
Russell
true.
and DK.
That's
So-
true.
Are you drafting him in the second round?
Who?
Metcalf? Is he your third round pick?
second
I
rounder.
would go second round for sure.
You should have been a
I
first
just need
rounder.
to look. You gotta. Put
Oh
this,
right.
You
Yeah,
gotta put
he's-
this in your brain
yeah,
because if we happen to do a league together, we gotta know what Milton's thinking.
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
we got it.
But him and I are basically the same draft strategy, so it really sucks. We need to be on opposite ends of the
For
draft.
sure.
My
we
draft
can't be-
strategy is different because I have different tactics. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go with the last random question.
Oh,
Okay. What's advice that you give other people that you never follow yourself?
let me think for a sec.
Did I finally stump Chris?
No.
I think I didn't stump him.
No,
but
you
I
didn't.
got-
I have 4 different things I say. That's what I was trying to think.
Oh, okay,
Do
so
I
you're trying
actually
to
do
narrow
these,
it
though?
down.
Yeah, do I
Okay,
actually
okay,
do them? though?
okay,
That's the
okay,
thing.
gotcha,
You didn't
gotcha.
get me on that.
Okay, all right.
You almost got me the sitcom one. I give you that one.
Okay. well, he's thinking then.
Yeah, what's
Well,
the Matt?
okay, so
Yeah,
for me,
because like
Yeah.
things you save. What?
as far as that, because I do like some of the other work that I do, where I work for motivational speakers and whatnot, and put on these special events, so I'm around like that mentality all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the Tony Robbins type stuff.
Yeah.
We're constantly working on that positive mental attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Being around that for so many years and like changing my way of thinking, and I'm not hypocritical at all. So
Right.
like with a lot of the principles and stuff that I enveloped to my own life and to my kids and my
Yeah.
wife and whatnot, I'm a huge believer in you can't just say it. You gotta be the one that manifests it and,
For sure.
and lead by example.
Mm.
So typically whatever advice I give to somebody else, I'm
agree.
already like fully ingrained doing that myself.
Okay.
Because I never want to be seen as a hypocrite and say like, hey, I'm telling you to do this,
Yeah.
but I'm just going to do this over here. But no, you need to do this.
How about something that you should do, and it's that right advice, but for some reason, you just don't maybe follow through with it as much as you'd like. There's
Okay. This will be probably more petty, but
yeah.
like for example,
That's fine.
like with
I
my
love
kids,
petty.
like Andrea is like hardcore, like hates clutter.
Okay.
Like absolutely detests clutter.
Okay.
Oh, no.
And if she could, she would have Salvation Army over every single week. And if it hasn't been touched in like a couple weeks, it's gotta go.
I like her.
It's gotta go.
no.
Whereas
Okay.
me, I'm a lot more of a hoarder.
Okay.
So I'll be on the kids a lot,
Yeah.
but their rooms have to be clean and whatnot. But then my stuff,
Yeah.
It's not.
Okay.
my stuff is not in pristine, perfect order. But I freak out though because she tries to come in and move stuff around.
Okay.
And I get super pissed because I know even though it might not look organized for her.
Yeah,
I
in
know
your
where
mind.
every single thing is. And if one thing's out of place,
Yeah, you're
even
one
if
of
it's in
those
some
people.
random thing,
Okay.
I know where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I'll literally walk in a room.
Yeah.
And I'll have that spider sense tingling. I'll know something's out of
She
place.
moved it. Yeah.
Like,
And
wait
it'll
a
immediately
minute.
draw me to it. I'm like, okay, like, and it literally could be like, why did that little change pile? Where did
Yeah.
that change pile go? That's under that book.
Yeah.
Stop.
Like, I'm telling you, like I'll know. This guy, like, no, don't listen. You touch anything in the house, don't
Okay.
touch my stuff because
All
I know
right.
where
So you're
everything
telling your
is.
kids to put away their
Clean,
things,
yeah.
and
Yes.
you have your own way
so,
of.
clutter.
So if
Yeah.
I had to say one
Okay.
thing that I would be a little bit hypocritical.
Yeah. There you go.
Being on the kids to teach them is for me to have all my stuff nice and neat and in order. But in my defense, I have so many different things going on. It's hard to stay on top of everything.
For sure. Okay. Good. I knew I had to get something out of you. I mean. I know. Okay, how about you? Did that give you a little bit of time to?
Yeah, you get plenty of time.
Okay. Oh, you got 4 that you had to decide. Okay,
Yeah.
what's the one that you decided on?
The advice I say is don't pee into the wind.
Don't be.
I accidentally peed
I
into
love
the wind.
that. Okay.
I accidentally peed in the wind once time.
Okay.
It didn't go well.
Okay.
And that's all I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
Plead the fifth.
All right. For me, I always tell people, don't bleed before you get shot. And as much as
What's that even mean?
what does it mean?
Explain that to the
well,
millennial.
Okay, to the millennial, yeah. Okay, so
Explain it to me.
what it means is like, don't panic and act like it's all over.
Okay.
Before. I mean, if you get shot, then shoot.
Well, yeah, blood. Yeah, okay,
exactly.
but-
So don't panic before something bad happens.
Oh, okay.
That's what it means. Have you heard that?
Mhm.
that
I've
phrase
never
before?
heard that before. That's
Okay.
what I was asking. I was like, this must be
No,
a generation
he's right
X
because
thing.
a lot of people, I always say this.
Mhm.
Hopefully, my mom and my brother's not listening. Since my brother's a Leo like you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I always say
One day
because
apart.
they're so emotional about everything
Mm-hmm.
that, and my sister's this way too. So like when things happen,
Yep.
it's like, oh my god, sky is falling. Like
Yep.
oh, and they get in this. I'm
Yep,
like I always say,
exactly.
and I'm not kidding. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse or some crazy thing,
Yeah.
I'm immediately, if I have like a gun with 6 bullets, one's going to my mom's head, one's going to my brother's head, one's going to my sister because they're all going to panic and get us all killed. because like when
We're sorry, police. We're sorry.
listen,
I
when
was
shit
expecting
goes
something
down,
totally
they're gonna
different.
get us all killed. So I just might as well just end it now,
Oh my
so I can give
God.
us all the best chance of surviving. Right?
Okay, all right.
So
Yeah.
they're getting the double tap.
We're sorry, FBI. We're joking. Totally joking.
I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna take it and head over there because they're gonna be prepared.
No.
Listen, the people that hesitate, and, the people that hesitate and panic are gonna get you killed.
Everyone else killed. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's another one that says he who hesitates dies. That's my friend's, and
Yep.
he's so right about that.
Yeah.
But what was I
No,
gonna
because
say?
listen, it's the people that, and that, it just comes down to being mentally tough.
Absolutely.
Like,
which sometimes I'm not.
are you weak-minded or are you strong-minded? Like, if you're strong-minded, you don't let all that stuff
Yep.
affect you. You're able to like zero in on whatever the issue is and overcome it. The people that just like fold, they're just
Flop
like mentally
over.
weak.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened to me a couple of times, especially like in soccer where I got that 4-2 lead and then I start thinking like, well, what happens if, maybe I should put this person back, my best player, so that they don't score. And then all of a sudden, I played into what I was trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I told my wife one time, I'm like, yeah, it's a Chula Vista saying. I'm like, don't bleed before you get shot. She's like, it's not a Chula Vista saying. She's like, I've heard it before.
Where?
It's supposed to be like, I forget what the... Don't get hurt before you. I don't know what the original saying is.
Reminds me of?
What?
Reminds you of that scene in Horrible Bosses?
Oh,
The
right,
outtakes?
right. Where they're trying to kill.
Well, he's like, I'm going to bend you over and show you the 50 states. Oh, that's not saying. Well, it is now.
All right. So that wasn't too
So what
bad.
you're saying the hypocrite is that you panic when nothing happens sometimes, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm already dealing
You're
with
like, oh my
what
God,
I
yeah.
think's going to happen.
But then it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't happen, exactly,
Okay,
which I
makes
deal
sense.
with at work all the time, which
Boy.
sucks.
Thanks, Costco.
Yeah,
Anyway.
exactly, depending on which supervisor I get. Anyways, that's a whole other story. All right, our last topic is going to be talking about, every week we're going to talk about a division, because obviously... I think we're 2 months out. There's 8 divisions.
Yeah,
so I
8
wanted
divisions.
to start out with a fun one and talk about what I think their records are going to be, get your guys' input on it. So this week we're talking the AFC North. Okay. So number 1, Browns.
Browns for sure.
Browns for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm all in on the Browns this year.
I know. It's like the draft day movie.
Yeah,
With,
that actually came true. Yeah.
Costner, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right, yeah.
it actually came true.
If the movie had been true, which the hype has finally met the reality.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because they've been hyping for like a couple years now, and that first year was.
Well, we hope so.
unbelievable.
But I mean, they have a lot. They're in that position where it could bite you too, where you start listening to all the media.
Oh, yeah.
and expecting.
Like,
like,
that too.
Everybody's like, "Oh man, it's the Browns' year," and
That's true. I just think that they're so balanced, but
Which
And
is scary.
So
yeah.
for me, if I was a coach, I'd be like, listen, forget all the noise you hear everybody talking. You guys got to internally, like, they can say whatever they want about you. This is the best team that the Browns ever put together. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Don't buy into all the hype, because at the end of the day, you got to play the games.
Yeah.
So the only thing that we can control is what we do on the field. So we just got to still have that mindset to take it game by game. And if we have all the pieces in place, we could just mentally be focused and tough and execute every single week, they can win that division.
And that's what Kevin Stefanski has done. He won Coach of the Year last year. And, I mean, to make Baker Mayfield look good when a lot of ESPN pundits and even myself, I was like, oh, Baker, he's another... Who was the other guy that played for him? Mandel? No, sorry. Manziel. Yeah,
Or
Johnny Manziel.
But you don't like all his commercials, like taking care of the stadium?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know he was getting bombed on that because it's like, dude, you have all these commercials and you sort of suck, and your team sucks. But yeah, Kevin Stefanski came in, put the pressure on, let's be a running game. They have the 2 best running backs. I mean, you got Nick Chubb, which has speed and size, and then you have a slasher out of the backfield, Kareem Hunt, who was doing amazing things.
Yeah,
with
Milton,
the Chiefs.
stay off my fantasy players, okay?
Yeah.
I want to raid Cleveland a bunch.
I know, no, for sure. If you're gonna raid, I just have that mystery question of like, why is it? And I have my own theories on it, that OBJ just doesn't fit into the puzzle.
He's just a wide receiver you throw to. He's just consistent. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your thinking on why,
That's why.
I mean, if they traded him, I would trade him and try to get what you can for him. I just don't.
Baker?
Yeah. No, not Baker. Keep Baker.
OBJ.
OBJ.
Yeah, OBJ is, I don't know, he's random because, I mean, obviously the talent's there.
Mm-hmm.
The physical tools are there. The talent's there. We've seen he could put together and do it.
Yeah.
But he's a head case.
Okay. So it's all about him, and with
It's
the
all about
Browns,
him and
it's
whatever,
about the
I
team.
don't want to say they're demons,
Yeah.
but his ego and whatnot gets in the way where it becomes
Antonio Brown level
it's about
of
it's
diva.
about it's
but
about
without that
OBJ.
challenge. Yeah.
His priority is OBJ over the team.
Yeah.
Right.
Where it needs to be team orientated,
Yes.
and then OBJ second.
So if he
And I think that's what the
Well
clash
said.
is.
So he'd be fine, right? If he
That's the right answer, actually. I mean, that's what I was sort of
If he
leaning
can,
towards.
if he can just humble himself,
That's what I mean.
enough
like,
just
go
to be a
the
part,
team.
like a cog in the machine,
Yeah.
they can
But-
dominate. But he can't help himself.
I mean,
he's
some players they
he's
just
a
can't
diva
help
if he
themselves.
ever if there was a diva.
Well,
They get the ether and they enjoy that the limelight. Just,
I mean, he wants to be the reason that they're good, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's not. I mean, it's because of Kevin Stefanski. It's because they have one of the best offensive lines.
And running
They
game.
rebuilt their defense. They got 9 new starters. The only 2 that they kept was Denzel Ward, shutdown corner, and Myles Garrett, probably the top edge rusher. I mean, maybe you can throw
Yeah,
somebody
he's
else in
Vontae
it.
Mack from the movie.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Remember,
yeah.
they had him as edge
So-
rusher. Yeah, in the movie.
So tell me though, in
Yeah.
that draft,
Uh-huh.
when they took Denzel Ward
Uh-huh.
and they could have took Chubb, who
Oh.
went to Denver,
Oh, what?
were you second guessing that a little bit in the draft
Oh,
of putting Garrett and Chubb on both, having the book it like you have franchise.
yeah,
edge
but I
rushers
mean,
on both
Bradley
sides.
Chubb's always been injured or hasn't hit his potential, so like I don't know if I would have wanted.
But at the
him.
time,
at the
in the
time,
draft,
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, to put
at the
that-
time, were
yeah.
you like, wow? They didn't have go with the bookend,
My God.
put that other piece. So you got A1 and A2 rusher.
I think the whole building your defensive line that the Niners did, that the Redskins did, I think more teams should go for that. I mean, I've always been like, put your best 4 up front. They're the
I
ones
know. I mean, I
rushing
can't
the
wait for
passer.
that week 1. I'm gonna see it live and in person. Chargers against Redskins.
Oh, boy.
That
Yeah.
defensive line. We're gonna see how good.
The
Yeah.
offensive
Not,
line
not
is.
to
yeah.
go too far off reservation, but we're gonna see how that revamped offensive line is because that's a
Woo.
good D line.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, they let's see what else. Okay, so in 2016-2017 seasons, the Browns averaged half a win, okay? Absorb
Oh
that
my
in your
God.
mind. Okay, not even
Oh,
one win,
gee.
half a win, okay? They had 1 win and 0 wins. And then 2018 to 2020, they're averaging 8 wins, which is
When did they get? Who did they get in 2018? Was it?
yeah, he's been there
Kirby?
three years now. Yeah.
So that's the reason why they have 8 now is because of him.
Yeah,
He's a quarterback.
yeah. So they're on their way up. They had 11 seasons. I like this stat. And, Bills and Chiefs better watch out. Browns were 10-0 when they won the turnover battle. And I don't think they're going to lose many turnover battles. I mean, run,
yeah.
pass. Defense, do your thing, well coached. I mean, it just doesn't seem like there's much of
Okay, yeah. For me,
a weakness.
outside the Chargers,
Yeah.
the teams I'll be watching the most,
Mm-hmm.
just because I have a lot of interest in them, is the Browns
Yeah.
and the Cardinals.
Yep, the Cardinals.
Because you're probably going to own fantasy football players from both those teams. I got the down low on you too. I'm writing my little notes here, my
I don't
mental
have to.
notes.
I
I'll
already
play
got my
dumb,
own.
but then I'll be like,
I got-
oops, sorry, took it from you.
Got my private.
Yeah,
one
and
I
then you'll
got.
take it right
Yeah.
back from me. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I see them being sort of 5-1 in the division. I mean, maybe they slip up and lose to the Ravens or to the Steelers. But yeah, I mean, I give them about 12 or 13 wins when I was looking at their schedule. And I have them ranked number 3 in the power rankings, right after the Bucks, right after the Chiefs. Previously, I'd had the Bills, but the Browns have something the Bills don't have,
A running back.
which is yeah, they got
Not
2
one,
of them.
but 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2 Pro Bowlers.
2,
Yeah,
yeah, not even fair.
and an offensive line that's
Crazy.
probably one. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I can't say enough good things about the Browns. I'm on the same page as. All right, so second is. So I went with a number 3. I mean, you can go with a number 4 or 5. I mean, you got to have them in the top 5. I mean,
Yeah.
because that's where they belong. Especially when they're going to win the AFC North, which is one of the better divisions. They had 3 teams last year, though they could possibly have that same thing. All right, number 2 is the Ravens. It's hard to completely buy into the Ravens. They're a run-first team. 58% of the time they ran the ball. The next closest was Titans at 51%.
Yeah, and a lot of it's through the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like
Lamar-
they keep that output on him.
Yeah.
Lamar running so much. Does he make it through all 5 after his 5 years, man? How much longer? You can't
Is he
think
headed
that.
down the path of RG3?
Yeah.
Robert Griffin,
They
right?
run him out.
Yeah.
Literally
I wanna say
injuring him out.
Is he still in the
But I
same
think that's
team?
their plan. They just want to run him in the ground, and then at least get 5 years of him, just run him into the ground.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got some issues with his down the field passing. They got Rashawn Bateman in the first round, but I think even if you give him some of the best wide receivers, it's just not there from what I've seen. And if in any way the Ravens get behind by double digits, like they're down 14-0, it's over because they got to abandon the run and go to the pass. And
Yeah,
that's
they have to go to his arm. And we saw a couple of years ago when the Chargers played them in the playoffs, and they took away the run. They're like, all right, Lamar, you're gonna have to beat us with your.
Oh,
arm.
yeah,
It
yeah.
Did not happen. The Ravens they live and die by Lamar.
Right.
How Lamar goes, that's how their team's gonna go.
Yeah, he's 30-7 in the regular season. So for those bettors out there, it's pretty good. You're winning 81% of the time. And his losses are respectable. I mean, 3 losses to the Chiefs. Everybody loses to the Chiefs. The Chiefs are a bad matchup because go ahead and score 35 with your running game. It's not going to happen. Lost a couple times to the Steelers, once to the New Browns, and then one at New England, which when you go to Belichick's domain,
he'll shut you down.
Yeah, is that in the
best
weather?
thing
It's weird
is-
weather.
Is Lamar the NFL version of your Tebow Florida Gator?
He's basically a running back.
Yeah,
He can throw.
he is in a lot of ways, because when I used to see Tim Tebow, I would also within those same years watch or a couple years later watch Lamar Jackson, and
Premier Tebow, you look at his line every week at Florida, and you have 6 touchdowns, 4 rushing, a couple passing.
Yeah,
But it wouldn't be like these deep bombs.
No.
So running.
Yeah, for
He's a
sure.
running back who can
Exactly.
throw,
Yes,
literally. Yeah.
that's who Lamar Jackson is.
He's
You
a
know,
running
with way
back.
better speed
Yeah.
than Tebow. But yeah, I mean, he was maybe like a running back, and then Tim Tebow was like a giant fullback.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've drafted 32 wide receivers. I want to say in their history, because their history isn't too long, because they're the former Browns, and they've only had one 1,000-yard receiver.
Who's that?
You tell me.
Ooh, it's someone from 2008, 2009. Because I know in Madden NFL,
Okay.
there was
Do you
a
have any
one wide
idea?
receiver from the Ravens.
When I say it, then you'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't know either until.
It's not a recent player.
No, it's not.
Exactly.
You got to go
that's what I'm
back in
saying.
the day.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, I'm out.
Yeah, it's okay.
I only played Madden recently. I haven't really done Ravens history.
I know. I mean, you could take a guess, but
Go ahead, take a guess, buddy.
Who is it?
oh, it's Torrey Smith.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That was the only
Torrey.
deep.
One out of 32. So yeah, they need some 1,000-yard receivers. Marquise Hollywood Brown said that it's not good that they're number 1 on the rush and 32nd. So they're the
Least balanced team.
least balanced.
The Browns
team.
are the most balanced. Yeah. You
Yes,
can run impacts.
exactly. The Browns are the most balanced, and the Ravens are the
not.
most unbalanced. But 32nd in passing.
But if you can't stop the run, though, the Ravens are going to win.
Right, but what do you do when you go up against a juggernaut team
Like
like
the
the
Chiefs.
Chiefs or the
They'll stop
Bills?
you.
Well,
Or,
like you said, if their
and die by
defense doesn't
Lamar.
lock it down, they get behind.
yeah,
If
Yeah.
they get behind a couple scores,
yeah,
And
it's
unless
over.
Lamar Jackson pulls some miracle runs out, which we've seen,
Which he's
him
done.
do.
So
Yeah, we
I'm
did
not
see that one
writing
Browns
him
Ravens
off.
game on Monday Night Football. Do you remember that one?
Yes, when he went out sick and then he come back in and get that. Yeah, it was insane.
That was
Yes.
insane. That was a great
give him
game.
that.
But that was a great game. It was epic. Those are the most exciting games to watch. But you can't expect that to happen all
No,
the time.
definitely not on a consistent
No,
level.
just the percentages are not there for you.
I had them ranked about like between 8 or 10 because the first 8 go to the division champs, but then I'm like, you know what? The Ravens are probably better than anybody in the NFC East, so I'll give them like a number 8, 9 power rating. Where
Okay.
would you put them in the?
8.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
That's
You're
good.
right,
8 to 10 's good.
8 to 10.
Eight.
Yeah.
Quote.
Exactly. Because they are dangerous. I mean, when that running game's going,
That's what number 1.
especially in his MVP season, then it's hard to
God.
stop.
Mhm.
Okay.
Don't remind me about that.
Next are the Steelers, which I haven't
Cardinals.
quite made up my mind on, but
I don't really like what happened last year.
yeah,
They got exposed for actually how not good they are. Like, remember the laugher? Was it the playoffs or the
the
regular
playoffs,
season?
yeah,
Where the Browns was 28-0 in the first quarter. They got exposed for how bad they actually are.
for sure.
So I have no faith in them this year.
I know. I mean, you look
They
at
have to prove
Tomlin's
it.
record. He's
Yeah.
never had a losing season.
Good for him.
Big Ben's in his 18th season.
Get out.
He's got some nice weapons. I mean, Juju and Chase Claypool
Yeah.
and Deontay Johnson and James Washington.
Got TJ Watt on defense.
And
That's about
yeah,
it,
their
though.
defense,
Yeah.
they lost Bud Dupree and they lost a couple corners, but for the most part, their defense
Who's their
returned to
running
attack. Najee Harris.
Najee Harris,
Yeah.
the rookie.
The
No
only
pressure.
problem is that offensive line. Pretty much
Mhm.
everybody that was halfway decent is gone. Pouncey, the center, retired. Villanueva.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger's on his last legs.
He's gonna follow Eli and Phillip.
There's a reason he's throwing the ball with 2.3 seconds left because he's got to get it out because that's about all the time he has. But yeah, someone said that the Pittsburgh offense was going to be pretty good because they were young and energetic. And I'm like, if you're young, that means that you're not experienced. It's going to take some time. So Pouncey retired. Villanueva went to the Ravens. The hated rivalry. I don't know how that happened. And then David DeCastro is gone. I don't know where he went to.
And Feller went to the Chargers.
Feller went to the Chargers. So basically, they have a whole new line. It takes time and chemistry for that. So
and that's not good for a guy of Roethlisberger's age.
He's like, oh crap, yeah.
And with that bad line, I mean, you can't even rely on the run, and then he's going to be
That puts pressure on Harris as a rookie.
Oh God, I feel bad for him already.
Yeah, for sure.
But they are run heavy because it's the Steelers. They like to run first.
Right. They want to get back to their old ways. But I gave them like a 10-7 record, maybe 9-8, probably somewhere in the teens. So anywhere between like 14 and 18, because I mean they might be good enough to get in the playoffs. They might stay out of
14 is the magic number. That's all that matters.
More in like that 14 to 18 range.
Yeah,
it's getting into the playoffs. So
the wild card, one of the last ones to get in. All right, and then last but not least are the Bungles, the Bengals.
The Bungles, I love calling them the Bungles. Joe Burrow is all they have.
Not to be confused with the Bungles.
Yeah. If Joe Burrow doesn't do good this year, he's, like I said remember he said what QB's under the most pressure?
Oh, yeah.
He's screwed because he was number 1 overall?
I mean, he played well in the 10 games he was in, but for them to go for the shiny new toy, which was Jamar Chase, and
not going for the line after he got wrecked.
Offensive line, come on.
Yeah, I mean, they had one of the worst O-lines last year.
Feel bad for Burrow.
It's almost the same situation with the Steelers. Young wide receivers, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and I'm trying to think of who the other one was. There's one other guy on there.
AJ Green?
No, AJ Green's
AJ
gone.
Green's on the Cardinals.
This is more of a younger guy.
Well, he doesn't have to be the guy.
He doesn't have to be the guy. He'll be the
But also, I'm not impressed with Zach Taylor. I mean, he hasn't done anything that makes me think he's Adam Gase or Nick Sirianni of the Eagles. But then he hasn't done anything that made me think like, oh, we got a Brandon Staley or we got
Sean McVay
or Kyle Shanahan.
No, he's not like that young, exciting
or Kevin
coach.
Stefanski. He's like the young without any of the pizzazz or the
He doesn't have the
moxie. I want to follow this guy into war. He's like.
He's hi there, everyone.
Yeah. So,
he ain't gonna make you run through a brick wall.
No. So it's just a very young nucleus with that, and Burrow
I don't
is
want
going to
you
be back.
On Burrow. I hope he comes back from that. That injury.
Me too.
I mean, he had one of the best college seasons I ever seen.
Absolutely, the
hands
best.
Down.
And I've seen a lot of them.
But I already see some of the narrative. The people are already starting to second guess. Man, did the Bengals make a mistake not taking Herbert and taking Burrow? And I hope that narrative keeps going. I'm still debating if I'm gonna buy tickets and fly to Cincinnati for that matchup between those two.
Yeah, that would be a fun.
Burrow
do they play this year?
Herbert?
They do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that should be a good game. What was I gonna say? So and then their defense is a mess. So they're gonna be in a bunch of shootouts. They're allowing 2,000 yards rushing.
Oh God.
Since 2017, that comes out to 125 yards. Against they converted 36% of their third down. So if you can't convert third down, how are you going to stay on the field? And then if you can't, you give it right back to your defense.
Well, you are going against 2 run heavy teams, Steelers and Ravens.
Yeah,
twice a year. Like, come on.
So where do you have them?
I think I had them at 5 or 6 wins, so like in the mid 20s. I'm saying
24, 25.
24, 25. Yeah, I got them like as the best of the
cellar
dwellers.
I call them cellar dwellers.
They're not the Detroit.
They're not the Texans.
No, they're not. They're neither.
The Texans aren't even the cellar. They're underneath the cellar. They're in the crawl space where the mass murderers buried all the bodies. That's where the Texans are.
Yeah, so I'm saying that they're the best of the worst.
They're not the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah, they're bottom of the.
I think the only other
cellar. You know what's at the bottom of the totem pole?
What?
That's where the dog pisses and the weed whacker.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So,
Poor Texans.
yeah, I mean, they're probably not better than the fourth worst team in the NFC West, which could be any of the four. Or
How dare you make fun of my Cardinals? Everyone puts the Cardinals at fourth.
No,
I'm like,
that's
you
what I'm
gotta be
saying.
kidding me.
Like, no,
No way.
I could put any of those four on
Yeah.
the bottom. I could put any of those four on top, which is weird.
Because
It's
NFC
like,
West is that strong.
yeah. So you could have one of those four in the NFC West or NFC Championship game going
Yeah.
up against the Bucks
Yeah.
to lose, of course.
Of course.
But
Dang it, Bucks.
yeah,
Anyways, back
yeah,
to NFC North.
yeah, yeah. They got a whole new trio of cornerbacks. It takes a while, and then I guess Jesse Bates the third is the best safety you've never heard of. But when you just got certain really good players, but not.
No vision.
Yeah, no vision, no balance.
No 5-year plan. Like, what's
Yeah.
his name from the Panthers?
Yeah, the Bengals are going to
Yeah.
continue to suck. The Browns are just starting their ascent.
Yeah.
The Ravens are always going to be there for the next few years because of Lamar Jackson, and the Steelers are the Steelers, you know. So yeah, I mean, I don't ever. Sorry,
come on,
Bengal
say it.
fans.
The Bengals are bungled
yeah,
for a while. Probably 10 years. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? They're gonna get. I mean, just like the
Eventually.
Bengals with Carson Palmer, and they got a couple playoff runs, not
They
playoff
did.
runs, but they made it to the playoffs
Yeah.
and all that stuff. So yeah, they'll
The Red Rocket.
yeah,
Or the
but-
Red something. I don't know what he called it.
Oh yeah, the
Red
Red
Rocket.
Rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry,
Yeah.
Bengal fans. There isn't much hope for you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Bungle
So
fans.
that's our AFC North wrap up, and so we'll be doing division every week until we get into the season. Any last words from you guys?
Thank
Go
you
Browns.
for listening. Yeah, go Browns. Go Cardinals and the Chargers. And this 49ers fan here.
Exactly.
They're definitely going to be fourth.